What a do, Sensei crew? It's Anime Sensei here, and we're back in this joint. We're gonna be doing What If Tanjiro Was Raised by Urokodaki, Part 2. I also shout out to my boy Potato, goes up to him. Like to thank him for basically shouting out my first ever Demon Slayer with it. It's very ambitious, as you can see. Try to be ambitious with my videos. Anyway, let's get straight into this. As this takes place about a week after Urokodaki had introduced Tanjiro to the rock slicing exercise, aka the final part. As Tanjiro had been trying ever since, failing each time, as he found himself often very frustrated. As recently he had been thinking about someone he had not thought about in years. As we find Tanjiro now, sitting underneath a water fountain. Like a water fountain, yeah. Not a water fountain, a waterfall. As Tanjiro's deep in thought. As he's having flashbacks to what happened years ago when his mother, sisters, all of them had passed away. As one particular person had been on his mind. His younger sister Nezuko. Nezuko, surprisingly enough, he could sense she was still alive, yet he wonders where she is now. As, for all he knows, she could be dead, she could have got killed, which is the same thing, or she could have ran off. As Tanjiro is contemplating on what he could do, suddenly Sabuto and Momoka, who can see Tanjiro's in deep thought, walks up to him. You know, Tanjiro, sitting there isn't going to help you complete the exercise for you to become a demon slayer, right? Besides, you might want to work hard. Urokodaki does not play with his training, Momoka says, adding on to what Sabuto said, with a smirk, as she had flashbacks to what her training was like with Urokodaki. As back then, he was even more ruthless than he was now, also because he was younger at the time. Listen, guys, I don't have time for this right now. It's just that I've been thinking. About what? Come on, you can trust us. What's on your mind? Well, every time I think about the event, what happened years ago with my family, there's one person particularly who I'm remembering a lot more recently, and I think she's alive. What gives you that impression? Well, you see, back then, when I stumbled upon the event, I was able to smell, as I have a pretty good sense of smell. I was able to smell and see that my sister Nezuko was actually alive. But when I was trying to help her out, I was knocked out. So I have the feeling she's either dead or somewhere out there. As both Sabuto and Momoka are deep in thought in this, think on what they could say to Tanjiro. Alright then, Tanjiro. Listen, I may not understand what family is necessarily, or what it's like to have siblings, but I can say that if you look hard enough, you'll definitely find her one day. Even if she's not alive, she'll still be there with you, in spirit. So for now, I'll just say focus on your training. Sabuto says. Also, don't be late for dinner. As Tanjiro, who had actually got a closure to this, finally decides that he'll focus on his training for a while, and after he's a demon slayer, he'll try to figure out the Nezuko case. As we go to the next day, as Tanjiro, who was repeatedly slashing the rock to the point where the sword was starting to break. If I can't get it now, then I'll do it again. As he slashes the rock one more time. Finally, before he could slash it one more time, someone had grabbed his sword. Listen, Tanjiro, I've done this exercise before, but there's something off with your form. We're gonna have to train first, because it's obvious your swordsmanship isn't there yet, to the point where you can slice a rock. So we need to boost that. Alright? And how are we gonna do that? Training. as Sabuto charges at Tanjiro with his sword as she goes for the slash, with Tanjiro jumping back, doing a backflip as he pulls out his sword. Alright then, Sabuto, if you want a challenge, you'll get a challenge. As he goes charging towards Sabuto, as they had clashed swords. Suddenly he had thrown his sword into the air as he had disappeared from sight. Interesting tactic. As Sabuto could see that Tanjiro was charging at him, but he seemed to be unarmed. Interesting. Weird tactic. As Tanjiro was going for the punch, as Sabuto was able to karate chop him in the neck, as Tanjiro was out. As Sabuto was getting ready to pick up Tanjiro, he suddenly looked to the air as he could see something coming at him high speed. What the? As he had last minute dodged swiftly, as the sword, which almost killed him, he was seconds away from dying. Whoa, this boy knows what he's doing. As he analyzed what just happened, Tanjiro, knowing that he couldn't beat Sabuto in swordsmanship, decided he might as well see if he can outsmart him. And he was very close to it. This kid knows a lot more than he puts on. Well, you do underestimate him, Sabuto, Momika says as she comes out of nowhere, along with urokodaki. You know, the boy is getting stronger and stronger. But when do you suppose we tell him about Muzan, Kibutsuji? We'll tell him when that time comes. When he becomes a demon slayer, I'll tell him about Muzan. But for now, let's him focus on his training. I can already see he's stressed out thinking about his family, from what I've heard. So for now, we're just going to have him focus on his training. But I can tell he's getting closer to learning his breathing technique. Anyway, Sabuto, I would like for you to train him for the next 6 months. Is that okay? Alright, fine with me. As Sabuto and Tanjiro had did the same training regimen every day with each spar, and also with Tanjiro going down the hill again, the mountain I meant, as they had repeated this for about 6 months, as Tanjiro still didn't get any better when he tried slashing the rock. It was to the point where Tanjiro got even more frustrated. Another 6 months, he still wasn't able to. We fast forward one day, as Tanjiro and Sabuto happened to be training, as Tanjiro had decided that maybe they should fight without swords. As Tanjiro had went charging towards him, going for the punch, as Sabuto was able to grab his arm, throwing him back to the tree. As Tanjiro was able to catch himself before he had made contact with the tree, he charges back to Sabuto, gut punching him as he sends him flying back. How about swords? Fair enough. As they both pull out their swords, charging at each other swiftly, each trying to get the better on the other. As Tanjiro appeared out of nowhere, as he had managed to disappear, then reappear, as suddenly he had shouted something. Form 2! Water wheel! As he had sliced the rock. As Sabuto had managed to dodge last minute, as Tanjiro found himself shocked as he had managed to slash the rock in half. As he had looked at the rock, he looked with joy. I did it! I did it! Tanjiro says, yelling out, as he was very happy at this fact. He finally had did it after years of practice, mostly a year. He finally had done it. He was proud. He knew if his family were here, they'd be proud. As urokodaki, who was watching from the shadows, smiled, reminding himself to thank Sabuto later for this help. As Tanjiro runs back to the house, he meets urokodaki, who had made it back before Tanjiro had did. Finally, I've completed my training. Well, good job, Tanjiro. Though, I know what we should do. You will wait a little bit. As you know, your 11th birthday is coming up pretty soon. So, I say when you turn 12. So next year, since you're turning 11 this year, next year we will allow you to go. Is that fair enough? Extra training is always better for me. As we fast forward about a year later, as Tanjiro was getting ready to go, as urokodaki had finally allowed him to go. As before he was getting ready to leave out, urokodaki had called Tanjiro. Tanjiro, come here for a second. We need to have a talk. Okay, what happened? And why are you so serious? Listen, Tanjiro, if you want to avenge your family, there's something we should tell you. There's this man. His name is Muzan Kibutsuji. He's very dangerous. But he is basically the leader of all demons. He's someone you would definitely have to encounter if you want to figure out and avenge your family. So, that's the person you'll definitely have to go through. Also, here's this mask. As he hands Tanjiro a mask, which looks exactly like the one that's in the thumbnail. As Tanjiro accepts the mask, as he puts it on, I guess it's time for me to head out then. As Tanjiro leaves, as along the way, he had actually met a few nice people. They were pretty nice. But we fast forward about a day or so later, as Tanjiro had finally made it to the forest of, I forgot what it was called, but basically, it looks just how it does in the thumbnail. As the two proctors certainly say, welcome, welcome. You are all here to become demon slayers, are you not? But, before you do that, you must take a test. A test to see if you're worthy of becoming a demon slayer. When am I gonna get my sword? An angry random character says, you'll get your sword if you can pass. Well, that'll be easy then. If that's so, okay. As you all have a day to finish this. If you're not back, then we cannot pass you. Agreed? Agreed! 3, 2, 1, go! I have to do my best. As we fast forward an hour later, as Tanjiro is running through the forest, looking to get through as fast as he can. And if he encounters a demon, then he'll have to do what he has to do. As suddenly, he had seen a person who was getting chased by a demon. At first, he was wondering if he should interject or not, but realizing that he should help this person out. As he sees the person, please, don't kill me. You're a pathetic human. What are you anyway? I'm a demon, boy. What do you think I am? But that's not the point. You're gonna become on my lunch list. Stop it right there, Tanjiro says, revealing himself. Pick on someone your own size. I wonder why you're here then, boy. As Tanjiro pulls out his sword. Oh, okay. If it's not another one of those. As he starts counting on his fingers. Oh, what are you, the 12th? Since Momoka and Sabuto never died. Oh yeah, number 12. No, you're number 13. Wow, okay. Alright, well, time to die. What? Oh, you're one of those students of urokodaki, are you not? Well, let's just say he's the reason I'm here. And every year, not even every year, but every time a student of his comes by, I kill them. So, you're ready to die, boy. As the sludge monster sends one of his hands towards Tanjiro, as Tanjiro had slashed it with his sword. as all the other hands had started coming at him at rapid speed, as he was only barely able to dodge. As Tanjiro had managed to pick up the boy and get him out and hide him behind a tree, as Tanjiro had came back saying, "Alright then, it's time." As the demon monster sends off one of his arms, as Tanjiro is able to jump on it while running towards him while on the arm. As he's sending one more arm, suddenly Tanjiro says, "Form 3! Water Slash!" As he slashes his head off, Tanjiro looks at the demon, not even showing any pity. This is what you get for killing all the innocent people. They had no qualms with you, yet you killed them for no reason. You'll pay for this. As Tanjiro carries on, as he looks back, he can see the boy had actually passed out due to fear. As he keeps on going, we fast forward about an hour or so later as he had actually made it. As Tanjiro had looked around, he could see that the boy he had saved earlier wasn't there, meaning that he had died. As Tanjiro had managed to look around, he had seen that there was only 4 people, this including himself, of course. Well, it seems you all have made it here successfully. Okay, well, you all pick a crown, and then you will get your swords eventually. Where's my damn sword at? As he grabs the lady by the hair, just like how he did in Canada. I'd like for you to unhand her, please, Tanjiro says, gripping his wrist, putting pretty much a lot of pressure on it. Why should I? Because of this. As he grabs it even harder, as blood starts to gush out a little bit. Ow! Alright. I give up. Good. Besides, didn't your parents ever tell you not to hit a lady? As the proctor had brushed it off as if nothing had actually happened. As everyone had picked their, crows, everyone had returned back home. As we fast forward to someone else, as we see Muzan Kubutsuji in a broken down house. As he's sitting in, something that seemed to me like a throne. Minions. Give me an update on what's going on. Well, we hear there's this new boy. His name is Tanjiro, and he's becoming a demon slayer from what I can see. Tanjiro. Oh. Interesting. Well, I know just who to send. Nezuko, come out. As Nezuko comes out, fully bloodlusted as a demon. I'll send you, as you are my daughter, after all. As, over the years, Muzan had actually kidnapped Nezuko, pretty much, and had, hypnotized her into believing that she was his daughter. And he was also, she knows he's a demon, and she's a demon as well. So she's not all that surprised. Your mission is to hunt down a boy named Tanjiro. I'll give you coordinates on where he is. As Nezuko leaves out, as Muzan starts laughing sinisterly. Soon enough, that boy will definitely become a demon. Alright, guys, well, this is where we're going to be leaving it off. I hope y'all enjoy it. Like I said, can I please get some feedback on where I messed up on certain parts? Like, did I mess up on dialogue, anything? So let me know, and I'll figure it out. Anyway, Anime Sensei, out. Road to 200.